I'm on my weekly trip to the Moss Street Market here in Victoria to pick up some local organic apples to make healthy candy apples. Hi David, tell me about the apples that you have here.
Okay, well here we have 3 different varieties, and we'll start with the Bramley. This is mainly a cooking apple and it's really good for pies and crumbles. And then the King apple is kind of a cross between an eating apple and cooking apple. It's a bit more tart. And then the Gala would be a nice sweet eating apple.
That's my favorite. So I'm making caramel apples today. Which ones would you recommend?
I would recommend the Gala because they're going to be nice and sweet, but the King would also work as well because it would mix well with the caramel. You get more tart and the sweetness with the caramel. This is a sample of the King.
So crisp, sweet, and I get that tanginess that you were talking about too. What's the difference between organic and conventional farming?
Well, it's actually a very big difference. With organic farming, we're not allowed to use any herbicides, pesticides, fungicides, nothing like that to kill all the bugs. We have to pull the weeds by hand, and we just use nothing but the earth and the sun to grow our produce. And we get certified every year, so we come and get inspected to make sure we're following all the rules.
What is the benefit of eating organic food?
Well, it's better for you because you don't really know when a lot of the conventional stuff, you don't know what's going in your food. And when you're spraying your crops, with all these other farmers spraying your crops, that goes into the soil and that grows into your food. And with organic, you don't get any of that. So it's a lot better for you.
I find that organic food tastes better too.
There's definitely more flavor to it.
Lemon cucumbers, how cute is that? It looks like a lemon, but it's a cucumber.
It kind of captures that delicate flavor of the roses. That very first taste, and then it kind of fades away.
Very interesting. Wow. Now I'm in the kitchen to make healthy candy apples, which are great for kids of any age, even big kids like me. These are gluten-free, refined sugar-free, and dairy-free, and they're absolutely delicious and easy to make. I'm gonna start by slicing some apples into nice thick slices. And we wanna keep the core in here. We want these to be a good 1/2 inch thick. So just like that. Now I'm gonna take some sucker sticks and insert them into the bottom of each apple slice. You gotta kind of wiggle it in there, just like that. I have 1.5 to 2 cups of dark chocolate chips in my bowl here, set over a pot of hot water, and it's slowly melting. I've also added 2 teaspoons of coconut oil to it to make it more fluid. And I'm gonna be dipping my apples into this. Use your favorite dairy-free chocolate here. My chocolate is melted and ready to go. Oh, look at that. I could just eat that by the spoonful. I have a parchment paper lined pan here that I'm going to transfer the chocolate covered apples onto. So leave the core in, but I am going to take the stem out. Just like that. You want to make sure that the entire apple is covered right down to the stick to make sure that it stays in place. Give it a little shake to release excess chocolate, and then place it onto the pan. Now I'm going to pop these into the fridge until the chocolate is nice and hard. I've got a big handful of raw almonds here that I'm going to chop up. You can use almonds, you can use peanuts, or any other nut of your choice. I also have some peanuts here. Now I'm going to make my peanut butter caramel. This is so delicious I could eat it by the spoonful. In my bowl here, I have a 1/4 cup of pure maple syrup, or you could do coconut nectar or agave nectar. I'm adding 1/3 cup of natural peanut butter, 1/4 cup of melted coconut oil, 1 tablespoon of hot water, and a good pinch of Himalayan salt. I'm gonna whisk it all together. Real smooth. It is perfect. Ready to go. They've been in the fridge for about 15 minutes and the chocolate is hard. Let's check. Yep, I'm able to easily peel it off of the parchment paper. So they're ready to go. I'm gonna dip each apple halfway into the caramel. Then I'm gonna sprinkle some nuts on top. You can also dip them right into the nuts if you want. and place it back onto the tray. I'll do peanuts this time. It gets a little bit messy, but don't worry, the caramel will harden up. A perfect activity to do with kids. The final step, which is totally optional, is to drizzle extra chocolate on top of the nuts and the caramel. Looking good. I'm gonna pop these back into the fridge now until the caramel firms up a bit. If you want to expedite the process, you can stick them into the freezer. But not too long because you don't want the apples to freeze. The apples have been in the fridge for about 15 minutes and the caramel has firmed up. So this means I get to dig in. Look at that. How cute is that? Now, the best part, I get to take a bite. You want to make sure to eat these while they are cold out of the fridge, otherwise the caramel will soften too much. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Crunchy, juicy, sweet, so flavorful. I hope you give these a try at home. For more great recipes, visit me at www.sweetlyraw.com.